Welcome back, everybody, as we're preparing for game 2 of our second series of the day. We got Team Liquid Academy taking on FlyQuest Academy. Team Liquid up 1-0 in the series right now, right on the heels of 100 Thieves, who are probably watching right now from home. Starting to sweat right now, thinking, okay, pressure is on. Team Liquid looking pretty good.
I think Ayla said it, right? He said the boys are back. They got their original Academy lineup from this split back in action, and they looked good. It was a calm, cool, and collected victory from Team Liquid, as this was the fight that really turned the game in their favor. They managed to take Baron off of that, and after that, it bought them the time to make sure that the Yasuo just got out of control. And Harry and Jenkins did a very good job of snowballing this game in their favor. And Team Liquid Academy looked damn good in that win over the top of the table, boys. FlyQuest rocking a new look, but still sitting at the top of our Academy standings.
This was the harder match for Team Liquid in the week. FlyQuest, the #1 team. They're going to be up against, I believe, Immortals starting tomorrow. If I take another look at the schedule here.
Yeah.
Still a tough match. Immortals are and they're hungry too, because Immortals are fighting for their playoff lives. They want to get into playoffs. Team Liquid are fighting for the bye in playoffs. So it's not gonna be the easiest week for Team Liquid, but a doable week to say the least. And another win here against FlyQuest Academy would do so much to catapult them in the lead, because this is FlyQuest who are holding that top spot and could potentially drop it into second place, but they're up there. They're gonna get that bye no matter what happens for the rest of their week. Team Liquid, though, they based on the form that they have and based on the playstyle in particular, you were talking about this in the post game. Playing a lot more reserved, playing a lot more calculated, a little slower than we expect here in the Academy scene, but looking good doing it and impressing us nonetheless. Yeah. So, I mean, what are the highlights of this Team Liquid squad so far that we've seen outside of just maybe a slower play style? Because the early game, it was maybe a little too slow. The Trundle plus Yasuo combos, they weren't finding the right people. But after that, it was just win after win after win. So let's talk up Team Liquid and give a little more identity to how they were able to pick up that win.
I mean, to be fair to them, it might have been a little bit slow for Kangas's taste. I liked it. Yes, the combos were landing on Lee Sin. They wanted those on Syndra when it came to the Trundle and the Yasuo. But they're the scaling team composition. So, like that 3-minute window where there were no monster objectives on the map from 17 minutes to 20 minutes, they took advantage of that. They managed to get a couple item spikes and really punished FlyQuest hard when they overcommitted into that choke. Got the TPs in time, turned the fight, got the Baron at 20 minutes, and it was game from there. And so I like this from Team Liquid because it feels like they have a really good idea of how to play the map. I think a lot of that comes from Armeo, who Ayla credited a lot for being a shot caller. But also, when it comes to Team Liquid, that's a style that really suits them, and I think plays well in Academy, because a lot of the teams in the best 2 format, they haven't been they're not afraid to fight, which I love to see, but it oftentimes leads to games getting out of control early. And because Team Liquid are measured, because they can take that slower approach against Academy teams that like to play fast, I think it benefits them when they have early game comps and when they have later game comps. They just have a good idea of how to play the map out and get both to a decent standing by the 15-20 minute mark.
And also, a lot of Academy teams, when games do happen slower, they don't really know what to do at that point. Like, they thrive in the chaos of just creating these high kill count games. So when a team says, no, we're not going to do that, we're not going to play into that, we are going to slow down the game state. Yeah, I mean, it could throw a wrench in FlyQuest Academy's plan, because, again, NXI, Triple coming back in here. This is a different look for FlyQuest, obviously. But they were playing a very fast game style in the LCS, so maybe not quite prepared for this kind of head-to-head. As we're getting prepared for pick and ban, though, as draft is right around the corner, Cubby, let's talk about it from FlyQuest Academy's side now. I mean, what was working well for them early on, and then how do we want them to continue to either play through that or find other ways to win here against Team Liquid?
I liked the Syndra, the Sin combo. I thought that FlyQuest had a strong mid-jungle duo. The Syndra could buy space for the Kalista and Jace to function in later fights. They can use the Jace to kind of match the forest poke and choke him out around objectives, try and take away the HP bar, or at least match the poke that they were going to be eating. The big key is that they just overcommitted in that choke, and they ended up in a 5v3 that they couldn't win. I think that for FlyQuest, they can emulate the same comp. They are on the same side if they want to do that. And it was more for me about execution in that mid game rather than it was like them just making monumental mistakes that led to them losing. So I want to see it how similar the drafts get, because being on the same side is something that's unique for this best of two. FlyQuest could try and run it back and just execute a better game plan. I could see the theory in their draft, but not going to be the case. And Team Liquid, to be fair, wants to swap things up, as I think notably Yon doesn't play Kalista, and while they beat the Kalista in the last game, they're going to switch up their pick ban, take away the Kalista this time, and try and get a different look at this game.
That's the big difference already in the pick and ban, is that we won't see the Kalista trip, or Johnson will not be able to pilot that. And that was a big part of the comp. Like you're saying, Syndra buying space for that Kalista to play through. So no longer a priority. And we also see adaptation from FlyQuest Academy, taking away that Varus. Jan looked very strong on that, despite not having the best stat line by the end of the game, and was notably picked off in the mid lane during that one misplay where the Jace chunked him out and then Syndra blew him up. Overall, still was a menace for FlyQuest Academy to deal with. So they identify that one, ban it away. Team Liquid Academy locking the Thresh on blue 1.
Thresh, you can get a lot of pairings with Thresh here on the blue side that FlyQuest will have to deal with, whereas FlyQuest secure who they feel like is the strongest jungler left, and Viego, who did see some nerfs to his laning, notably less healing off of his Q from the minions, I believe, on this
massively less. So he's down to 10% healing on Q. It was 100% when he released. Then 50%, because we're like, all right, we're sick of the lane Viego, let's get him into the jungle. And the people were still playing him in lane, so they said, fine, 10%. I guess FlyQuest Academy didn't get the memo, because they're still drafted and presumably for that lane.
And so right off the bat, for Team Liquid, they see two melees. It's about buying space. They're going to pick an Aphelios who can interact with both those champions, give him a pillar to try not only to build off that range from, but also spread the range with Grundle's pillar, and make sure that Aphelios is able to function in these team fights as he is paired up with Thresh. Very powerful 2v2 that you can play towards or play away from. It does not matter, as FlyQuest are going to continue to lock in melees, continue to lock in champions they feel like they can get the Diana to play towards, as they're going to focus on their solo laners, lock in that powerful top trio, and now they're going to have to ban out solo lane responses, whereas Team Liquid are going to take away bot lanes they don't want to face.
FlyQuest Academy's composition so far reminiscent of something we'd see on 11-13, maybe even 11-14, but I expected shifts on this meta away from that Viego solo lane in particular. I guess Diana jungle still works just fine. That wasn't really touched on the latest patch, but less focus on these melees in the mid lane because of things like Syndra getting buffed, things like Cassiopeia getting buffed. But no, FlyQuest Academy right back on it. So you're right, they are taking away that LeBlanc as a priority pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Syndra ban as well, honestly. But no, okay, they're seeing that Cassiopeia still as a threat in the meta. So you're right, targeting those solo laners.
It's a new day for a new patch, but I'm actually surprised at the respect being paid toward Cassiopeia. I guess maybe Everfrost, and also the fact that she would interact very well with the three champions shown. The way you beat Cassio's Outranger. Viego, Diana, Renekton do not do that, so they're going to pay some respects. Take that away from Harry, as Team Liquid taking away the heavy engaged supports, as of course FlyQuest going for that threat overload composition, as you named earlier, Kangas, in honor of Joshi and other.
It's not me, it's Joshi. Yeah, I just quote Joshi every time I say it.
It's not a bad person.
I don't want to take credit.
Yeah. So that said, FlyQuest, they have a decision to make. They're gonna have to blind their marksman or support. Should be a marksman here. That should make sense. It would grant them hard engage and can threaten Aphelios' landing phase.
Yeah, and also just setting up the Diana Viego to go in, but no, very different champion from an Ashe. Instead, we got the Kog'Maw.
So you can Hog Lulu against Aphelios Thresh, and if you can survive the first, 4 levels, it gets better from there.
Team Liquid can lock in Lulu.
They could put it mid. It's pretty good into Viego and Renekton if they want to, and it is a Jenkins special if they want to deny that, but it looks like they're just going to opt for the Kennen. And why not? Everyone has to go into you, and you can get flanks on the Kog'Maw. So I like this from Jenkins, as we're going to have to see what Harry ends up opting for. As Harry...
I still like the Lulu mid, honestly. Even if it's not as much known in Harry's champ pool, it's taken it away so that FlyQuest Academy don't get that combo. And it also pairs well with Aphelios. You still get an Aphelios with double supports on him, but no, instead opting for the Ryze in the mid lane.
So Ryze gives Team Liquid a split push kind of backdoor if Kog'Maw gets too fed. And Braum here wouldn't be bad. It doesn't give FlyQuest the hard engage they necessarily want, so now Diana's going to have to kick off the fights. But Braum Kog'Maw appeal very well. And a lot of what Team Liquid's going to be trying to do is buying space. Say that they're just going to opt for the Lulu.
Yeah, baited.
Yeah, it deals better with Kennen. Yeah, so that's going to be the response from FlyQuest. You're going to have to survive the first few levels of that lane. After that, Kog'Maw and Lulu feel very good once they get around level 5, level 6 territory.
The difficult thing, though, is that, like, usually the best part about the Lulu Kog'Maw is that you're able to peel the Kog'Maw so well from these dive threats. Not a lot of dive threats on the side of TL. They will be playing more of a front-to-back style with the Aphelios Thresh. I mean, the Kennen's really the only champion that you need to worry about in this situation. But Team Liquid have drafted themselves a very strong team fight if they can group up with. They also have these side lane threats. FlyQuest Academy, I don't know if they have the better on either side, on either front, whether it's a 5v5, whether it's a side lane threat. Maybe I'm not giving enough weight towards the Viego plus Renekton combo. I just like the range that Team Liquid have in those side lanes and the fact that they can bully out those lane opponents. So I'm really liking what Team Liquid have put together here.
I like it if they're able to get off the ground. And that's what FlyQuest are going to be trying to do, is to try and use that Renekton, use that Viego early to get some gank set up and get Diana going with these solo lanes. As triples Renekton, it is 4-0 this split between Academy and LCS. I believe those 4 games were in Academy, so putting that record on the line here is FlyQuest looking to match the series, secure that #1 seed for the Academy playoffs.
I mean, triple, sure. Yes, I agree with you. Early game for him. But Kog'Maw Lulu take time. Viego, especially with the nerfs, will take time. And that means that you've got Jenkins Cannon against that Viego. Not going to be a fun lane for Philip to deal with here. So we'll see. We'll see if FlyQuest is able to shut down the scaling of Team Liquid and get the early game rolling for themselves. Team Liquid still chasing for that buy like you were just saying there, Cubby. And a win here with a composition that they seem like they will be very comfortable with. What a way to start it off. Jan playing with fire right now. He's trying to bait FlyQuest in, but yeah, there's really no hard engage for FlyQuest with those 3 in particular. So Jan is just safe. I'd like to take this time early on to set up our expectations, because you were saying that you do favor FlyQuest a little bit in the early game. So what should be their game plan then with that in mind?
I'm curious to see NXI starting on red, because this usually means he's going to be pathing towards the bot lane. I would think that he would want to play to attack the Rise. It seems like the decision that, you know, you have the gank assist mid, Renekton is your strongest pick early, and if Diana gets on top of the Rise, could be very threatening for Harry in the mid lane. But not going to be the case. Looks like he's playing towards the Kog Lulu, who, getting them off the ground, getting them level is going to be very important here, as Aphelios does have a pretty good early lane phase. Level 1, of course, not the best, because he doesn't have access to any abilities, but as you go on, Aphelios is really solid at getting out of lane.
Although I will say that Kog'Maw with the Lulu packs more of a punch than a lot of people are expecting in the early game.
You just need a couple levels to be able to get the base damage on the E up for Lulu, as well as the shield, and then, of course, Kog'Maw with the W. One of the more powerful points of the game where you can put damage, just get everything you want into, right? More range, more damage. It's perfect for the Kog'Maw. This triple is going to use that ward to spot out the fact that Armeo skipped over Krugs, should be assumed by FlyQuest, and Philip will be under his turret early, thanks to this matchup, as Jenkins getting up early against the Viego, as we expected. Might be a pretty slow early game yet again.
I really don't expect this to get better for Philip. With 10% healing on Q now, and you have the range disadvantage against Kennen, who can just hard bully your lane. Yeah, Philip's probably going to be playing under turret the entire time. That means that Jenkins is unleashed on this Kennen here. We've seen what he can do. We saw what he just did in that last game against a Syndra Lee Sin. Tough combo to deal with. Doesn't have that same issue this time around. It's really just that Lulu that will be looking to shut Jenkins down. So, Team Liquid top laner, yeah, just hard shoving out this top lane, getting a massive CS advantage for himself.
It feels bad to miss the cannon there for Philip, as that is how the matchup rolls. And the Viego will struggle in lane, but it does play well into what FlyQuest want to do, right? And that's use the upfront damage of Diana, Renekton, Viego to get a reset and kind of roll through the team comp that TL has from there, whereas TL trying to utilize that range advantage to play around that intelligently. As Armeo is just here to hover Harry, make sure he's able to shove out that lane. As Johnson and Dreams, I said that around level 4 or 5, things do get better for their lane matchup, but it seems like They knew this one a little bit better than me. Going for it early, and NXI might be hurt at pressure, but Armeo is chasing to respond.
Armeo doesn't have red buff, though. He's going to walk right into this tri-bush. NXI does back off, though, respecting the early game dueling potential of the Trundle. Nice of Armeo to get that ward, too. As the Pillar, do they want to look for the engage? Pillar onto NXI, has to path all the way around it, but Ayla doesn't look for the death sentence, and Johnson maybe going to reset. Ayla walking forward, taking some poke back, but not going to get caught.
Mana bars are low for FlyQuest, where a lot of Lulu's power is a little bit reliant on how much mana she has, so TL should be able to slow push this wave out and get a reset if they'd like, as both junglers have reset themselves. Going to get back out onto the map. Romeo's wrapping up his last camp, and actually might be hovering bot to make sure they're able to crash this wave.
Also hovering bot in case FlyQuest go for an aggressive play. But I don't see FlyQuest doing that right now. Ayla's here, actually could look for it. The engage with a Graviton, death sentence onto Dreams, and that's first blood picked up by Ayla. Johnson under turret should go down as well. Passive might get a kill in response onto Jan. Not enough damage. Team Liquid with an early 2-kill lead.
Man, I was just thinking it was going to help Crash, but a completely different look from Ayla as he flashes in. They had the double advantage due to the slow push, and they punished the Cog Lulu early. What I talked about with getting level 4, level 5, getting more points into the E, more points into the W. We can really step up and start to win those trades. That's not the case at the moment for FlyQuest Academy, and Jan, good use of his guns with the Infernum and the Graviton, able to use that to guarantee the double root. Able to sneak out here with the heal by the skin of his chinny chin chin. Well played.
I love seeing the Aphelios engages, man. It's just like the Graviton's so satisfying when the AD carry can set it up. Without an ultimate as well. Not many AD carries can do what Aphelios do. We see that Jan now doesn't actually get any of the kills, so kind of a bummer for him, but Ayla picked up that one, Armeo picked up another, and overall that means 1,000 gold lead to Team Liquid in this early game. We saw last game FlyQuest being the benefactors of the early kills, of the early lead, but this time they're going to be playing on the back foot.
FlyQuest will be looking to potentially take the dragon here. His triple did burn his TP to ensure that he has mid lane priority. Harry doesn't have access to his. And Armeo is trying to get around this by going bot. They know that they don't have a flash on Johnson's Cogmaw. They're looking to punish it.
Yeah, the Pillar instead onto Dreams. That's flash out to Lulu, which means death sentence in. Harry also Realm Orbs. That's the kill for Jan. And XI now in trouble here. Level 5, but triples joined in. Has a dominance, jumps immediately onto Jan. Big pickup for FlyQuest Academy. Now they turn on to Harry. Flash out. There's the flay from Thresh, but not enough. Triple with the help of Philip. They've joined in, and that's a kill for the Viego. Pillar's causing some havoc. The pathing a little strange there for FlyQuest Academy. They get back, and a couple kills picked up. Big favor for them.
It's a favor initially, but they don't have the health to stick around, take the dragon. So it's a window that TL can use, and also Philip really sacked his laning phase for that TP. He had yet to reset, so he TP'd down there with a Dorn shield to his name, nothing else. Jenkins able to shove out a triple wave there, crash that. As I like the play from TL. We talked about the Call of Lulu, how if you dogpile onto them early, they don't have the levels to have the stats to survive. They take advantage of that, but just get stuck here in the river, as looking for triple and NXI was an overextension of FlyQuest. They send in the TPs, they rightfully punish.
Well done by FlyQuest, especially triple, just isolating Jan, realizing, wait, that's an AD carry without flash or heal. Just going to flash directly on top of him. Lock him down. And FlyQuest, yeah, even though they don't get a lot of objectives, they at least get some more kills for themselves, notably onto Philip. Yeah, sacks a little bit of the laning phase, but does get back up to the top side. Only about 2 waves behind in farm. And with a kill to his name, now has the Merc Treads, now has the Sheen, so can trade a little bit better, can absorb some of the damage better from Jenkins. And the laning phase might go easier, but the wave's in a rough spot, and Armeo is on the top half of the map. Team Liquid could look to gank topside. Armeo's instead just hanging around this pixel brush, waiting to see what XI wants to do. Bottom side, though. Red, white guns. Jan just going all in onto Dreams. Picks up an easy kill for himself.
And that could be all Armeo needs to start off that Rift Herald, as he will have top lane still pushing in his advantage for TL.
Oh, Johnson, he turned this? Play back. No. Jan's got the damage. Another kill to Team Liquid's AD carry.
Miscalculation from Johnson as Yawn just fires out the Severum ultimate, gets a ton of health back, doesn't even have to blow heal, because he just got access back to it. And that's a 2v2 kills going over to the Academy bot lane of Team Liquid. Yawn and Ayla stepping up big in this 2v2, punishing the Lulu and the Kog'Maw, as a bit of it's all the focus that TL has put into this bot lane, as they don't have access to either flash. So when that death sentence lands, man, is it a death sentence, as that Lulu just gets melted, and red-white do not fight for a reason.
And let's see how this happens with Johnson. He just walks up, he opts for it. Yeah, Ayla doesn't even get out the death sentence. It's just the FLYA, and Jan just did so much damage with the healing there. Yeah. Team Liquid with the 2v2 outplay, and now they're on to this top engage here. Rift Herald actually wasn't picked up, it doesn't look like, but FlyQuest NXI could be in some trouble. Armeo goes too far forward, goes down. NXI flashing the wall, but Jan's here. The Aphelios massively fed. How much more damage can they do? The Realm War forward, they focus onto triple. He's got the Blasco, but that sentence at the perfect time for Ayla. Another kill onto Jan.
TL quick to the rotation as FlyQuest, they do get the Rift Herald for themselves in that replay, but TL rotate, punish, take down triple, and honestly for FlyQuest, a miracle that only one player went down, and not bad for them as the play does go over to Team Liquid, but that's some free time for Kog'Maw to hit that bot lane turret while he just got his flash up. I think that's much needed for Johnson, but won't be able to get the full crash as Yawn is responding, and Yawn very powerful on this 4-in-1 Aphelios. It's going to be so scary as the game goes on, given the fact that TL already gotten so much gold onto the person they need gold to be on.
Exactly. When we think about the Kog'Maw versus Aphelios matchup, it kind of comes down to, okay, who's able to scale faster? The Aphelios can do a lot of damage early on with the recent buffs he received, his passive lethality and base AD, but he also still scales crazy. Like, he's still Aphelios. And now this far accelerated. Yeah, Johnson got some plates, but I think you're happier if you're Jan right now, as we see Johnson come back. Doesn't even have an item completed, just has Berserker Greaves and a bunch of swords and dagger in his back pocket. He's like a multi-class rogue fighter right now. It's like, all right, I'm a General Grievous right now. Four arms for my 4 blades.
It's a heck of a shortcut that Kog'Maw's taking towards that what looks to be an Immortal Shield bow. As surprised he's going for that with a Lulu, but I guess very scared of the Kennen. Feels like he needs that extra life. And that will actually significantly decrease the damage of Team Liquid, the fact that Kog'Maw's not going for that Kraken Slayer. Side stuff from Jenkins. Dodges out on what Philip's doing. And we have to see which team can successfully set up for this Dragon. This NXI is hovering triple. Armeo's here. Wonder if they find him isolated.
Armeo could catch them out right now. Doesn't see either of them, but now Harry spotting them out. So there's the pillar. Triple already slices over the wall, flashes back in, but you already got hit by the subjugate. Doesn't matter. The burst is enough to kill Harry. Armeo hoping to continue the engage. Ayla throws out the FLYA. Jan is here. Now you got to be careful for FlyQuest. Not ready for this Aphelios. Thresh. All right. Jan doesn't find it. Doesn't have enough damage, and now doesn't have the lantern from Ayla to get him out to safety. But FlyQuest, no more engage options. Do not hard commit onto Jan. Team Liquid, they thought they had it right there, but a good turnaround for FlyQuest. Got to be careful, though. Ayla's still here with the death sentence, and Jan's right behind. Death sentence goes wide. FlyQuest are still around the dragon, but teleport from Harry.
Double
also
TP.
Jenkins, a double TP from Team Liquid, and they catch out Dreams. Oh, the support from FlyQuest Academy just shredded as now the continued engage underneath the bottom turret. That's NXI. That's Johnson, as well as triple. Team Liquid Academy just can do no wrong. Hard engaging under the turret, and they will pick up 4 members of FlyQuest.
And I love watching Yawn cycle his guns. We always talk about red, white, and the melee heavy comps, but he's going Infernum and Gravitum to make sure they have the crowd control to just follow up. And when you have a Rise, you have that machine gun damage, that adaptation from Yawn. He's managing his guns so well in this game, really helping this Aphelios pick pay off. As Team Liquid, we talked about who would win that posturing over Dragon. Well, you just kill the entire team of FlyQuest. That makes it pretty easy to take this Dragon for yourself. As first Dragon of the game, a Cloud Dragon. We've had Cloud Dragon first in all 4 games today, Kangas, as it's been ignored quite a bit, but Team Liquid managed to take it on their own. We'll drop the Rift Herald in response for FlyQuest as they're trying to pick up some extra plates, but let's check out this replay. As what a play coming out from TL as they just melt Dreams and an aggressive Realm Warp. They know that they've won the play, as the upfront damage from Diana and Renekton was already used, and they know they can just go
that
wherever
death
they want.
sentence.
Yeah, Ayla's really good on this Thresh in these 2 games. Been very impressive.
And I mean, at least they get the kill onto Jenkins afterwards, but that's just scraps here. Team Liquid getting so much more for that play. Philip did get some alone time on the top turret. Got 2 plates for himself, so sure, Viego with a little more gold. Now FlyQuest, they dropped that Herald in the mid lane. It got, I believe, 1 charge off on the turret, but not taking it down. First turret gold still on the table for either of these teams, but we do see a 2,000 gold lead now for Team Liquid Academy here, and that's Gale Force on Jan. I love this build for the Aphelios. We don't see every 80 carry go for it. A lot of times they'll still opt for the Kraken Slayer or the Shield Bow for the team fighting presence, but with Graviton and this Gale Force, you can be the engage tool for your team, catch a lot of people out.
And that's exactly what Jan's be looking to do. Looking for the Collector second, as the Aphelios build actually did change. It used to be, so Aphelios, of course, you don't skill up your skills, you skill up your stats. And it used to be attack damage into attack speed into lethality. Now it's actually the lethality second, as if you go Collector, you get very fed as plays going on both sides of the map. Jenkins is in trouble, he will go down.
He's by time, he does die, shut down, picked up there by Philip, but on the opposite side, it's tripled, it's traded. If you're FlyQuest, though, in this game state, you might not be too upset with these kinds of trades because they could look to push the top turret as Harry will push bottom. There'll be a race for that first turret. I think I'm favoring Team Liquid Academy here.
I would favor TL, but they actually shifted Aphelios into the mid lane in order to try and take 2. So FlyQuest, they make a trade. They get the shutdown. They're going to lose an objective, but will get Shelly to try and take another, as Armeo's going to wrap around, make sure Johnson can't approach this wave. 2 towers going over to TL off the trade of kills on the side.
Yeah, you take that. They get the first turret, so more gold. And also they get a turret for a Rift Herald trade, which is not a guaranteed turret.
Yeah.
And FlyQuest Academy only just now getting that top turret. Meanwhile, Harry's already pushing another wave here. But not going to find much more other than just a blue buff invade, blue buff steal away from FlyQuest Academy, who are... I mean... I don't want to call them out of this game yet. They're only 2,500 gold behind. But when you're looking at this 6, 1, and 4 Aphelios, and now Arise with that first item, it's just so hard to deal with Team Liquid's comp.
We talked a lot about range and buying space, and that's something that they're going to struggle with in this game, going up against an Everfrost Rise, peeling for this Aphelios, rocking 3 melees that need to go in, need to be that upfront damage to try and get the Viego the resets. Falling behind against that going to make life a lot more difficult for FlyQuest. I think that we're going to have to see if NXI and Triple can continue to work together to manipulate vision to try and find these picks. That's something that NXI, I mean, this is the duo that FlyQuest has kept together, and I know NXI, talking with him and about Triple's play, he thinks so highly of his mid laner, Steven. And he said that we just know how to work together. We know when to trade resources, who needs what, and we're going to have to see if they can make it happen, as they've got to come behind in this game to try and take that victory. As the Answering gets Yawn back to safety, Herald gets dropped mid, and this should be a mid-turret for FlyQuest.
If the charge is enough, Jan will start to pepper this Rift Herald with some damage. Do they get it? Oh, that was pretty close. But no, the charge goes through, but Triple blocked up by the pillar. Gets onto Jan. Doesn't have enough damage though. Now Jenkins joins in. Even NXI can't kill Jan. Nobody can take down this Aphelios. And FlyQuest Academy overcommitting for the play. Not even Phillips gonna find it here. The ultimate's not enough. Jan gets a kill. 7, 1, and 6 on this Aphelios. FlyQuest Academy threw everything at him, but they cannot pick up the kill, and now they're getting hard punished for it. 4 for 0 in favor of Team Liquid Academy.
Team Liquid, they want a shot at one of those buys, Kangas, as they have looked so good in these 2 games, and it's been different styles. Last game really felt like the solo laners, Harry and Jenkins, were making the big plays, dictating the pace of the game, but this time, it's been out of Ayla and Yawn in the bot lane, putting together a hell of a performance, showing why that first pick Fresh and that blind Aphelios was worth it, as what a team effort here to save Yawn, as a good ultimate from Jenkins prevents Renekton from getting to the backline. Yawn's able to take out the rest of the members, and that last Gravitum charge came in right in time. Yawn swaps guns to sever him, and just keep themselves alive, and that fight's over right at that mark once they take down that Diana, as FlyQuest just have to get out. Dragon does go over to TL in the side of the screen. They continue to put together the pieces they need to take a 2-0 here, Kangas, as this performance from Jan and Ayla has been outstanding.
And Team Liquid Academy taking a 2-0 against FlyQuest Academy would be massive, not just because it's, of course, the #1 team in the standings, but again, chasing for that by themselves against 100 Thieves. And then they got Immortals up tomorrow. Team Liquid Academy have not gotten a 4-0 since the first week of the summer split, but if they can pull it out here, really good shot that they get that bye. 100 Thieves have been slumping in the second half of the summer split now. Team Liquid are staring down this barrel of a very strong finish here. Another team fight like that, and the game might just be over. But FlyQuest Academy, they are still looking for ways back into the game here. Triple does get the bottom turret. Trying to play for these side lanes instead against Harry, who has yet to pick up a kill for himself, but still has the 2-item spike now. So if we're looking at this from FlyQuest Academy side, Cubby, if we're starting to theorize, what are these players going to be looking for? How are they trying to approach this late game? What's their best avenue back into this? Because they are still 3,500 behind.
I think it's got to be NXI and Triple working to find a side lane pick, but the difficulty at the moment is that NXI, he can't show bottom because Aphelios is so big, so far ahead that if he does, there'd probably be a Baron melt coming out from Team Liquid. So I think that they should actually swap the Renekton and the Viego with the lanes they're at, because if Renekton is in that top lane and Team Liquid push it a little bit too far forward, they might be able to attack it with NXI and with some extra members. So I think that's really the only way they can come back. That and just trying to find picks as TL overextended the jungle, but TL in these two games have shown nothing but control, nothing but them taking advantages off their movements around the map. And I don't think they're going to be giving that up anytime soon, as they're making it very difficult for FlyQuest to find any of those potential windows they need to get back in this one.
I'm also seeing a big bounty on Jan. Maybe if you can get that kill, that shutdown onto the AD carry, I can help you out here. But Team Liquid, they just say, we're just going to go right for the Baron. We don't need to play for these side lanes. We have this Aphelios who takes this so fast right now, and this forces FlyQuest Academy to answer. They teleport Triple in already. Cannot continue providing pressure on the bottom side, and Team Liquid are just off the Baron. They're fine. They say, all right, you teleported for it.
I love that play from TL. Just once again showing how calm, cool, collected they are. Oh, they find NXI!
Ayla finding NXI here. Wild Growth is used to keep NXI alive, but it's not enough. Jan does damage over the wall, picks up the kill, and FlyQuest, without their jungler, will have to now reapproach Baron in a 4v5 setting with no potential for a smite steal.
So if they can reset, have a chance, but look at Jenkins. He has flash, he has the perfect positioning here on this cannon. This is so tough for FlyQuest to walk into. Here we go.
Watch for Jenkins right now. He's onto the backline, an immediate engage. Jan with a double kill. Johnson trades back onto Ayla, but that's just not going to be even close to enough as Team Liquid Academy sweep the fight 1 for 4. NXI will spawn in time to watch as the Baron falls, but Team Liquid Academy, they got it.
The fight's just too easy when Jenkins is able to get that flash ultimate on all 3 members. Yes, Dreams had the good exhaust onto Kennen, but it doesn't matter. It's too much CC, too much crowd control to win a fight at a deficit. Team Liquid continue to put together the pieces to take this game, as we're going to have a reset coming out off that Baron. And oh boy, is this Aphelios big or what?
Yeah, 10-1 and 7 Jan.
As a stopwatch too.
With maybe a career-defining performance so far. Just impressive on this Aphelios. Whether he's engaging the fights, whether he's just staying back and providing the DPS that they need. Watch Jenkins' flank here. This was the big play from Team Liquid.
And there's no way from the setup that FlyQuest can win this fight. It's way too hard for them. And I love seeing Harry with like the 500 unit realm work just to get the angle back on the Dreams. As the emotes come out, flashing the sad crab, flashing the white flag, TL, they know what state the game is in. They know that this game is theirs to lose or win. They're trying to put together the pieces, wrap this one up, get the clean 2-0, as it's been 2 very solid-looking games from TL. I love the fact that Ayla said the boys are back, and they've really shown up in these 2 games. You can tell these players are so comfortable playing with each other and are really relying on the synergy that they built in the spring and the early parts of the summer.
And again, I like the drafting too. It's not just the in-game performance, it's also the style that they're playing with and their focus on certain champions here. I'll hold that point though, as FlyQuest Academy might look to go for the final engage. Philip ults out as the Wild Growth is used on him. That's 2 ultimates down now for FlyQuest Academy. Johnson just getting poked over the wall by Jan. Almost goes down to 1 auto and 1 ability. With a Baron push, Team Liquid Academy will take down that bottom inhibitor turret. Now look towards the inhibitor. FlyQuest Academy will mount their defense here. Do Team Liquid Academy try and end it? They still have 5 members strong. They have the ultimate economy right now. They could look for it here with the Baron push. They're onto the first Nexus turret. Now focusing onto Philip instead. FlyQuest Academy, they got to go for something big. Massive engage from NXI, and everybody goes golden. It's a golden party right now. Backline triple goes forward. Ayla's dead. Big pickup from FlyQuest. Can they get onto Jan now? He still has flash. Big engage there from Philip. Shut down onto Jenkins. But look at Jan. Look at Harry. The AoE damage is too big here. Team Liquid, they're still pushing forward. They still have the Baron buff with supers in the wave. Johnson's doing everything he can. Jan pops the stopwatch, goes down, shut down to Johnson. FlyQuest Academy did it, defending their base from Team Liquid. And massive shutdowns onto the Kog'Maw. Might be the way back into this game.
Great engage from NXI. Not only did he force the golden stopwatch party, but Kennen wasn't able to get in the backline, so FlyQuest, with their Nexus turrets, were able to fight a front-to-back and at least take one fight, keep the game alive for them, keep things interesting as they will get the Dragon off of it as well. And then the back half, finally finding that Aphelios. It's a late stopwatch from Jan, and the red carpet being laid out from Johnson. I don't know exactly what he's throwing out with the skin. It's the goo, it's the honey, I don't know. But it worked out as things come up sweet for FlyQuest, and they managed to at least keep the game alive. As I'm talking so much about a later half of this fight, but watch Philip, because of this engage, because the space is bought, Aphelios has to hit the Renekton. Philip was actually able to find resets on the Viego, and that allows him to get more cooldown step up and actually CC Jan as he lands the death sentence, hits a 3-man play, and Philip showing off some of his support skills there as he's the big difference maker in this fight.
And that meant that Jan had to flash there, which means that now when Team Liquid approach here, they no longer have flash on their AD carry, so it's easier for Johnson to just do this. He just walks up, just does the drive-by on the Kog'Maw, takes down Jan. Harry falls as well. Shutdowns both onto Johnson means that this Kog'Maw, 3 items matching Jan now as an AD carry here. Really back in this game. Now, it's still going to be tough. There's still a massive gold lead overall to Team Liquid Academy, but if Johnson's peeled properly, he could just solo carry this. Like, look at that damage!
Yeah, and importantly enough, Johnson still has flash for this next fight, so Team Liquid, they have to have a clean engage. Dreams doesn't have exhaust, though, so if it is a flash engage from the Kennen onto the Kog'Maw, that will spell doom. I think that's what Team Liquid are using.
He's got cleanse.
Yeah.
He's got wit's end, so he actually has a little bit of magic resist, and he can avoid that stun. So actually, Johnson, he might just be the difference maker here. Can FlyQuest Academy hold out? 26 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock, 7.5K gold lead over to Team Liquid Academy, 21-11 kills. It's been a bloody game, a lot of team fights happening, and wouldn't you know, we're going to get even more right now. Team Liquid Academy not going for the killer blow currently. Jan, very far forward here, has to use the Gale Force defensively. It didn't look like Ayla was quite ready to throw out that Lantern.
Oh, they want to end the game.
Teleporting in Jenkins.
This is aggressive. They don't have Baron. They could wait for it, but I think they're going to rely on Jan's damage with the Vitality build. Look out for an Infernum ultimate. That's why he's holding on to that gun. It does so much damage with the Collector and with maxing Vitality second. So he's going to be looking to take out FlyQuest with one fail ultimate. One fail swoop.
Johnson had to go back to the fountain to heal up, which means that the supers are pushing in. This gives Team Liquid Academy a window to go for it, and they engage immediately under the turret from Jenkins. Johnson flayed. He's doing damage with the Kog'Maw down. Team Liquid did it, shutting down Johnson and ending the game just like that. They will go 2-0 on the day. They will challenge 100 Thieves for the playoff bye, and they do it in style, diving the fountain. Philip is invisible, though, so that sentence missing. Team Liquid not getting the final kill. Doesn't matter. They got the Nexus. They got the win, and they got a 2-0 over FlyQuest Academy.
The boys are back for TLA, and they're looking damn good, as those were 2 games from them that, while FlyQuest showed some, like, a response in that last team fight, this was a series that was dictated and ran by Team Liquid. They were in control for the majority of these games, taking comps that we felt like were better later into the game. The fact they were able to weather the storm early, punish the overextensions from FlyQuest, and utilize those TPs to get ahead. really good play and seeing it from different parts of the map too. First game, all about the solo lanes, all about Harry and Jenkins finding the right plays. This game was the yawn show.
Exactly, yawn. Like this fight in particular, very impressive mechanical play on the FLYA, throwing out that Graviton ultimate at the perfect time right there. And Team Liquid, they're looking like a scary team right now in the second half of summer. Again, this is where you want your record to show. This is where you want to be hitting your peak right before playoffs, right before Proving Grounds around the corner. And when you're able to do this against FlyQuest, yeah, keep in mind that this was a weakened FlyQuest in terms of not having as much time to scrim together. We only recently had the tweet come out saying that, yes, NXI and Triple were coming back down into Academy. I don't know how long the team had to practice with this roster, but it's not the core five that the Academy roster started with or the LCS roster had. But still, good players in their own right. Whether it was Academy going into LCS, they looked great. Whether it's LCS coming into Academy, they looked fantastic as well. But Team Liquid Academy looked like they're on another level.
I think for Team Liquid Academy, too, I mean, this means more because they were the second seed going into Proving Grounds, but they got knocked out tragically 0-4. Some of us had them as the favorites to take the tournament. They did get a really tough bracket draw with No Oregon Golden Guardians on their side. That's pretty tough. But Team Liquid, I think they have a little bit more to prove this time around. I'm kind of curious to talk to some of the players about that as moving into Academy playoffs and moving into Proving Grounds, being that big crown jewel tournament we have for the semi-pro scene. I want to see how they're going to respond, like if they are putting in anything extra, because it looks good getting back in, and it looks good seeing these players get back together as they were a squad that dominated Academy, moved up for a reason, and good to see them returning to form here.
The boys are, in fact, back, Cubby. Team Liquid Academy looking like they didn't skip a beat with Armeo back here on the Academy roster. Jenkins coming back in as well. And piloting that Kennen 2 games in a row. They forgot about Kennen, Covey. You cannot just give that over to him unless you have an answer.
Hey, it's 5-0 this season between LCS and Academy, and he's damn good at it. And guess what? I think we're going to be talking to Jenkins coming up next.
Exactly. For our Verizon post-game interview, Jenkins, congratulations on the win. Yeah, sit up a little bit. Let the people see you, man. What a win for Team Liquid. A quick 2-0 over the first place FlyQuest Academy. You know what? Let's just ask about that, Kennen. You got him 2 games in a row. Are we back into Kennen meta, or is this still just the Jenkins special?
Kind of both. I mean, the buffs did help a little bit, but yeah, I think it is, yeah, just a mix of both.
It's a specialty pick that you've played throughout your entire career, and it's been fun. Like seeing you on both the LCS and Academy stage. You know, finding ways to specifically counter Gwen, having that be one champion that you feel like you can play into Gwen. But I actually want to change subjects and kind of shift over to something that I caught up with Ayla before the game. And I always ask players, like, is there anything else that you want to share, like before we go into the games? And Ayla left me with one sentence: the boys are back. And this is your original Academy roster from the spring. What's it like having these 5 guys in the game, and how do you all feel about being together and playing out the game so well against the top team we have in Academy today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy because this was like the original roster we had in spring. I think we ended on a not so great note at Proving Grounds, but it was good to be able to like showcase that we still work very well as a team. I think right before I moved up to LCS, we went I think 4-0 first week, and then like 2-2 with like a weird week of practice because I was playing LCS at the time. But yeah, I'm just really happy to be back with all the boys.
Yep, love to see it. And you're so close to making that playoff bye right now. You were 1 game behind 100 Thieves Academy going into the week, and now it's a 2-0 over FlyQuest. You just got Immortals coming up tomorrow. So what do you think about that Immortals matchup? Is this going to be the second 4-0 week now for Team Liquid Academy, or do you think that they're going to give you any challenge? And if so, where do you think that challenge is going to be from?
I think it could be 4-0 week. Nothing. It doesn't seem too particularly hard after watching the C9 game. I think we should be able to power through.
That's good to hear the confidence from you guys returning. And one thing kind of ending on a fun note. If you guys have ever followed Team Liquid LOL or follow these guys on Twitter, I know that you guys like to do your anime poses before, any big tournaments or weeks. We're going to have any fun videos, anime-based, going into the playoffs from you guys? Any content you want to tease out?
Can't leak. I can't leak that one.
Okay. I like to hear it. Keep us on our toes.
Right. But I like the fact that he said I can't leak it means that probably coming. But thank you so much, Jenkins. Appreciate it. Giving us a little bit of information. Hopefully we can turn that into some fan theory crafting. But congratulations on the win and best of luck going into your series tomorrow against Immortals.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, awesome, Jenkins. And yeah, he's not concerned about Viper at all, I guess, after watching what was going on with the match against Cloud9. And hey, if they can get the 4-0, not only would that be their second 4-0 of the entire summer split, but again, 100 Thieves look like they're in a bit of a slump right now. This could be Team Liquid Academy getting that playoff bye. What a turnaround for the season it would be for them.
And also, Immortals playing for that 6th seed as well in that race against TSM. That's going to be a very important match tomorrow. I'm looking forward to, but it was great to see Jenkins, and I don't have the chat up, but I hope everyone in the chat is spamming about the Bob Jenkins fan club, because that's an important one that we have meetings every Monday in LA at a time that Kangas can decide on, as he is a fellow member, Very important.
Yes, yeah. You got to prove that you're a true fan before we tell you the time and place, though.
True.
So shoot me a DM on Twitter.
Send some Canon
we'll
clips.
check. Yeah, you got to send us a video of your Bob Jenkins shrine that you worship to every night before sleep or every time before they play. And if it's up to snuff, we'll let you in. But yeah, what a player, what a play in that game. That's going to do it for our second series. So we will be sending it to a break before we're back with Evil Geniuses Academy versus 100 Thieves Academy. Let's see if the Thieves can hold on to their second place spot or if Team Liquid will catch them today. You won't want to miss it. So be back right after this.